according to One Piece creator Eiichiro Oda himself, we are entering the final arc of One Piece. And the closer to the end of the manga, it means we are closer to discovering Shanks' plans. Who in fact is Joy Boy? What is Laftel? And of course, what is One Piece? Was Gold D. Roger's treasure just a heap of gold and precious jewels, or the One Piece? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. But first of all, if you want to be a pirate king like me and achieve eternal glory, go ahead and press the like button with all the power of your Akuma no Mi. And if you're new here, my dear sailor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and don't forget to activate the notifications bell so you don't miss any new videos here from the anime Joy Boy, okay? Then join this crew that will dominate the entire Grand Line and the New World. Now, without further ado, let's get to this epic video. And well, my dear sailors, finally after many years, the journey of Luffy and Straw Hats is coming to an end. And now everything is funneling for this great final arc where we will see who will be the great deserving of the award and the title of King of Pirates. Of course, this won't be so easy for Luffy and his crew because in addition to mysteries that exist about Shanks and his true plans and goals, we have the Navy and the world government that will try to stop the pirates from getting more power and influence at all costs in all the world. Not to mention Blackbeard, who, in addition to having the power of two devil fruits, being them the Earthquake Fruit and the Darkness Fruit, we have to remember that Buggy is now in the midst of all this turmoil. Even more so now that he's simply evened the game by putting bounties on the Admiral's heads, and to make matters worse, Dracula Mihawk, the Hawkeyes, and Crocodile joined Buggy and his crew. In other words, people, things will start to heat up before we get to Laftel. However, one point I would like to make clear in this video before we talk about the One Piece treasure itself is about Shanks. The Red has always been proving to be one of the best characters in the entire work of One Piece. In addition to being one of the most mysterious characters of all, he is increasingly surprising us to the point that many think that Shanks may be the final villain of One Piece and not Blackbeard or Akainu. But for me, this theory won't come true. In fact, I believe that Shanks is currently preparing Luffy for something big. Since he gave him the Straw Hats, he's been watching him, until the fateful day arrives that the two can finally meet again. As you can see, Shanks' journey, as incredible as it is, hides a lot from us. But each time we approach the climax of the story, we see that Oda is closing in and Shanks' wishes and plans for Luffy and the world follow only one path, and that path is called stability without violence. We saw how at various times, Shanks used dialogue to end wars and friction, and using Luffy as the key for this change in the world to occur can be the escape valve so that Shanks doesn't have to interfere with his powers definitively and coercively. In other words, what I mean is that while Luffy claims all the status of the greatest pirate in the world, while he cleanses the main islands and countries of the tyranny and unscrupulous leaders, Shanks goes on the other hand. He will do the same, only following Luffy on the same journey, but in a way where he manages to balance the powers of the world without having to go out and destroy the whole world. Gradually, and using Luffy, Shanks is clearly leading and guiding the world in another direction. A direction where there will be no room for even a world government that uses a force to silence people, let alone leaders who enslave peoples and cultures. In other words, I would say Shanks should be Luffy. I even mentioned this in a past video where we talked about the passing of Roger's hat to Shanks, who quite possibly believed he could be the person who would change the world. But unlike Roger, Shanks is acting as a supporting shadow for Luffy on this journey. While Luffy fights and uses his powers directly, Shanks only uses his powers and influence to affront and intimidate, because in fact, his will is not to create chaos, but to create a different world. This is for me Shanks' real plan for the future of the world and for Luffy, and so is the way to help him get to Laftel. This whole point was important to mention, because like it or not, what we're witnessing in One Piece is something cyclical. Roger and Shanks were important parts of this story, at least the story that we know. But there's a lot about the past, and Luffy will be the key to these answers and the padlock that will be opened by that key and that locks the chest. Where those answers are is called Laftel. When Roger arrived on this island, he was amazed at Joy Boy's treasure to the point of saying he wished he had been born at the same time Joy Boy was born. Joy Boy is a fundamental part of this story, but he is part of the past that will be revealed at the end of One Piece, with Luffy now as his representative or reincarnation, so to speak. That's why I believe that One Piece is not just something like friendship and companionship as many believe, or just an ultimate weapon with powers to destroy any enemy like Pluton, Poseidon, and Uranus, much less a heap of golden jewels. No, for me, the treasure of Joy Boy and later Roger goes far beyond that. The One Piece treasure has to do with the entire history of that world. It will be the revelation of what happened in the past, how and when the celestial dragons became the rulers of the world, about Im-sama and everything else, the naked and raw truth about the world. Of course, they must have mountains of gold and a lot of wealth. Of course, the island must be a paradise full of several species of animals never seen before, being rich and abundant in both food and fauna and flora. But all this is nothing more than just a bonus in the face of the truth about the world, the truth of the past. Because knowing about how the world was the way it was and knowing why the Navy and the world government wanted this world to remain that way may be the key to the ultimate change of the world. A truly peaceful world where everyone lives with freedom, without hunger and without tyranny. And of course, we can't forget about Im-sama. What are your real goals? Is this supreme being a god? Is he or she really on the side of the world government? Or are all events happening this way because of their influence so that in the end, this being is revealed as yet another ally? A divine being, just like Joy Boy. We do not know, but those answers are in Laftel. Of that, I'm absolutely sure. A theory that I can't help but mention is that it could be that in Laftel is the Devil's Tree that would be where all devil fruits originated from. And that maybe in this place you can find those demons or whatever of them, and that in fact these demons are actually souls and wills passed on by generations of important people of the lost century, who settled on Earth and nourished the tree, giving rise to these fruits as a way of giving power to those people who seek freedom, in this case the pirates, to free the world from tyranny. I like this theory, but not the way it was made. If you want, I'll bring a video talking about this theory, but putting what I believe this tree to be, the devil fruits. So write in the comments if you want me to bring a video about this theory, okay? But of course, if you made it this far, it's because you liked the content, so it doesn't hurt to subscribe to our channel and become one more member of our fleet, my dear sailor. And of course, do not forget to press the like button. That helps a lot in spreading the video and the channel. So help us to become the largest fleet of pirates here on YouTube, okay? A big hug for everyone, and until the next video.